Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Hopefully you're all having a great day so far. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Brian. I'm laughing at Derek's comment. Derek, I did work 6 days this week. I got called in to do traffic Monday. So I did technically not work Tuesday, but yes, you're not wrong. Chris is off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Larry was off Monday. So just a lot of shuffling around. Joy, good morning to you as well. Let's get right to the forecast because we kind of have an interesting, I would say, Chris Mulcahy actually described it best when we were together on Monday. It's kind of a kiddie roller coaster. So we're not seeing those highest kind of peaks and those lowest lows like we saw a few weeks ago with the record highs and then plummeting to the 50s, but it is still a pretty noticeable change here. So first, let's look at Anson County camera. I want you to notice two things here. One, the shaking of the camera as winds are turning breezy as a cold front's moving through, and two, how low the river levels are. That, of course, because our drought situation continues to expand across the area. In fact, in Charlotte, which is where we get all of our local data from, since September 1st, we've recorded less than 2 inches of rain. We've only recorded 1.95. Now, since September 1st, this is 6.79, so just under 7 inches drier than average. So we've talked a lot about the fact that we saw a wetter start to the year, but it's actually the last few months that have been so much drier than normal. And so the problem is that when you're drier than average during the wet season, then you get into the dry season and you know, you're probably thinking of the term that I'm saying without me having to say it, because oftentimes we don't see that much rain during the dry season. The good news is with an El Nino, oftentimes we do see a wetter pattern heading into winter, but right now it's a concern, of course, because we're under drought conditions. So I do have some positive news in the upcoming 7-day forecast that we do have rain on the way, and it does look to bring us some pretty good accumulation. It's just not going to be 7 inches worth. Now, we don't want 7 inches worth in one day, but we do still need a good amount of rain to kind of bring us back up to where we are. Now, we did have some expansion with the drought conditions with the latest drought monitor, which came out on Thursday morning. This is an important little asterisk here, which I don't get to say oftentimes during the morning show because we have about 2.5 minutes to talk about the forecast. But the drought update comes out Thursday morning, but the actual cutoff is Tuesday morning. So when we get the next update next week, it will probably include some of the rain that we get on Tuesday, but not all of it. So this update includes 5% of North Carolina now under extreme conditions, which is a 4 out of 5. Some of that includes about half of southern Cleveland County, 7% of South Carolina, including about half of western York County, and a small sliver of Chester County, and a little bit of kind of that spot that you can see hugging the border between western North Carolina and northwestern South Carolina. Most of our other area that's not under an extreme drought is now under a severe, which is a 3 out of 5. Now, there was some improvement for areas south of Columbia in South Carolina, which is positive, but North Carolina really, really still under significant drought conditions as we continue, of course, throughout the next few days. Um, Nolan is talking about burn bans. Nolan, the reason why you probably feel that way, he's talking about the fact that he feels like a lot of this is, oh, I'm just using his term, bull. Never had the local news so concerned about burn bans. The reason probably why, Nolan, we see actually burn bans a lot of times during the dry season when we have drought conditions that are really extreme. The reason why you might feel like you haven't seen this maybe in a while is because we actually haven't had drought conditions this bad in quite some time. In fact, in Charlotte specifically, we haven't had extreme drought conditions, which we're not currently under, but we're getting close to since September of 2008. So it's been about 15 years. That's the last time that Charlotte and Mecklenburg County as a whole saw a significant water restrictions and things like that. So it's just been quite some time since we've seen conditions this dry. And the real big concern is the fact that when we have these dry conditions, it can cause wildfires to spread extremely quickly, which of course can be very, very, very concerning. Another thing that we haven't really talked about as much, because as of right now, it's not a major concern, but could become, when you have wildfires that sometimes go out, a lot of that burned brush, things like that, can then cause landslides and mudslides when then we have a heavy rain, and that can actually cause loss of life and property as well. So it's certainly not bull. It is actually a big, big, big problem. So hopefully you're not burning, because if you have a burn ban in effect for your county or your local area, you can actually be fined. So please keep that in mind. And of course, it's not safe for you or for your neighbors. So we, of course, continue to see high fire danger. Gusty winds 20 to 25 miles per hour, very low humidity today, very dry brush and leaves. We've been under a higher than normal fire danger recently, but especially today because of the breeze, it is even more so increased than it has been just because of the increased breezy conditions because of the frontal boundary that we have moving through. So as that front continues to roll through the area, we are going to see that wind kick up a little bit late this morning, early afternoon. It will primarily be today, and then the winds will start to die down into the overnight hours heading into Sunday. As the wind dies down, that'll allow for temperatures to cool off, coupled with the colder air coming in from the north. So tomorrow morning, much different story. This morning, we only dropped to a low of 52. Tomorrow morning, we're talking the upper 30s. So this morning, I didn't even have a jacket when I came in. Now, that might not necessarily be you, but upper 30s tomorrow morning, probably everyone will want a jacket or a coat of some sort. This afternoon, before the cold air gets here, we're talking sunshine abundant, temperatures low to mid 70s, which is about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. 73 is the forecast high, with those winds coming in out of the north at about 10 to 15. Good morning, Nicholas. Good morning, Jeff Benton, coming in from Myrtle Beach. Kickoff, of course, for the Charlotte 49ers home against Rice is 2 p.m. And Jeff is saying, what a great day, Jeff Jennings. I agree, Jeff. It is a nice day, especially for the 49ers. It's their senior game, which I think, even though it's warmer than average, other than the breezy conditions, which are increasing the fire danger, it really is a nice day. And I think that would be just such a pleasant day to kind of end my senior season. So hoping for a big win for the 49ers against Rice. Tonight, as winds die down, and again, we get that colder air moving in, temperatures drop to around the upper 40s, lower 30s for areas in the mountains. We're right around the freezing mark for portions of the foothills. And then as we get closer to the Charlotte area and the Piedmont, as well as the Sandhills, upper 30s, lower 40s. A few more clouds for these areas. So, of course, the clouds will keep us just a teeny tiny bit warmer than those areas as we head overnight into Sunday. So, definitely a jacket start to Sunday. I don't think we're going to see widespread frost conditions in the Piedmont just because temperatures are being a little bit warmer. But there is a chance in outlying communities, especially for the mountains and foothills, that some patchy frost will impact you tomorrow morning. Then all eyes are on our next big change. Clouds start to increase Monday night ahead of this storm system. A few showers will be possible Monday, but the big change comes on Tuesday as this large storm system approaches the Carolinas. Right now, this looks to be a light to moderate rain over a long period of time, which is helpful for drought conditions. Right now, I think half of an inch of rain to an inch at a maximum is probably what we'll record in Charlotte. While this is beneficial, again, it won't completely take care of our drought lack of rain, for lack of our rain deficit is the correct word I was looking for, but it will be helpful. This will create some travel issues, especially across the deep south and the North New England states and the upper Midwest for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So make sure you're kind of planning ahead and you're aware of this before you make those plans to drive. Or as you're looking at your plane tickets, things like that, you're aware of whether or not there could be delays. If you have any questions, comments, concerns on your specific travel route, I would be happy to answer them. Please leave a comment here. And as we continue to see this trend progress, I would be happy to give you updates throughout the next few days. Still a few days out from the system, so we do have to watch how things progress, but thankfully we do look to clear out. There's a small chance that a second system could develop late next week, and that could increase our chance of rain Friday into Saturday, but we're kind of torn at this point on models there. So I'm going to keep us at a low chance of rain now. So you'll notice that as you look at that 7 to 10 day forecast trend. But for at least Thanksgiving, we're continuing to trend a little bit cooler than normal, mid to upper 50s. My official forecast calls for a low of 37 and a high of 56 on Thanksgiving, but rain chances consistently looking dry for actual Thanksgiving holiday. In the tropics, I didn't even include it in my forecast today. Potential tropical cyclone 22 is no more. National Hurricane Center does not expect it to form into anything. So here's your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny, 73 and breezy. Unfortunately, the breeze does increase those fire danger outcome risk. So please be mindful of that. If you're under a burn ban, no outdoor burning. Girls are okay. Now, fires like fire pits, bonfires within 100 feet of a dwelling are okay if there's not a local burn in effect. So make sure you're checking that beforehand. Just want to keep that in mind. Now, personally, I don't encourage any or really recommend any outdoor burning just because of the risk that you take by doing so, but not only for yourself, but for your friends, your family, your neighbors. But we're hopeful that conditions on Tuesday will at least quash some of that fire risk. And then, of course, Monday, more clouds, 20% chance of rain. Big rain day still looks to be Tuesday, few showers lingering into early Wednesday. And then we are still looking drier for the Thanksgiving holiday, but cooler too with temperatures in the mid 50s. Hope everybody has a happy, healthy, and safe Saturday. It will be a very warm afternoon and breezy as well. And we'll be back to see you on Wake Up Charlotte weekend tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. We'll be there from 6 to 8 and then again from 9 to 10. Have a great rest of your Saturday.